In shape, 145.
Yeah.
In shape. You know what I mean? So this is different from a Crawford coming up to 168, but we know his walk around weight is probably 170, 180.
Gervonta Tank Davis' only shortcoming, pun intended, is his height. He's 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. But as you can see here, he's working on his versatility.
Reports say that Terence Crawford recently visited GervontaDavis ahead of his upcoming fight with Jake Paul, giving him valuable training advice and sharing key strategies. The two champions reportedly exchanged techniques and discussed different fight tactics, showing genuine mutual respect. Crawford expressed full support for Gervonta, praising his incredible skill and relentless work ethic. He even mentioned that if Davis ever wanted to face him one day, he'd gladly consider it, not as a rivalry, but as a show of respect for the sport of boxing itself.
GervontaDavis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah, if he want to dare to be great, he can be like all the other fighters that moving up 2 weight classes and daring to be great.
You would fight him,
man. Tell him to come up there.
He got to come to win 54.
He said I got a glass chin, so tell him to come and touch it.
Wow,
man.
Gervonta said you got a glass.
He said I got a glass chin. Tell him to come and touch it.
At 147?
At 147. I'll make 147 for him.
Ooh, see, oh, man.
You're going to have a pre-camp.
Then what the people going to say? Oh, he's beating up on little guys.
I don't know.
GervontaDavis seems to be taking inspiration from Terence Crawford, widely regarded as one of the most technically gifted fighters in modern boxing. Crawford's preparation for Canelo Alvarez caught attention for his constant stance switches, perfect balance, and unpredictable rhythm. Now, Tank appears to be applying the same ideas. His latest training footage shows him working on footwork, shifting angles, and even switching stances mid-combination, something rarely seen from him before. Observers believe Davis isn't just learning from Crawford, but is also drawing from Jaron Boots Ennis, a fighter known for mastering both stances comfortably. This evolution in training hints at Tank's plan to surprise everyone when he steps into the ring with Jake Paul.
Right. This is scary. Gervonta Tank Davis is working on his versatility. We already know he has that ultimate equalizer, that special God-gifted one-punch knockout power. But he also can box. Gervonta Tank Davis, he's very durable, has a chin, never seen him visibly hurt. Gervonta Tank Davis also has great footwork and foot placement. And here you see Gervonta Tank Davis' only shortcoming, pun intended, is his height. He's 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. But as you can see here, he's working on his versatility. He's now working on fighting orthodox. He's naturally a southpaw. Now he's working on fighting orthodox. Great switch hitters, no Diddy, in the sport of boxing.
Boxing commentator Showbiz the Adult stated that the Tank versus Jake Paul fight must stay exciting if it's going to succeed. He explained that some expect it to look like a light sparring session, both men taking it easy to avoid embarrassment. But if that happens, it could ruin both of their careers instantly. Fans wouldn't take them seriously again. With Tank and Jake both having huge followings that crave action, this fight can't be cautious or dull. It needs genuine energy and danger, because if it turns boring, the hype around it will die overnight.
It can be career ending. Jake Paul can end his whole shit. That's the black. Tank can end Jake Paul's whole shit. And if that fight is meh, and it's just a sparring session that's tit for tat, their shit's over. Because people gonna be pissed that it's exactly what they expected it to be. They can't do that. If they do, their career's ruined. Jake Paul career's ruined, and Tank. If they make it meh and just touch, both their brands suck. That's the black two sugars. You mess around in that bell ring, and you see little Tank, and you see big Jake, and he's throwing a jab, and little Tank making a miss, and bam, y'all gonna be like, whoa, say I'm lying. Y'all, you know what? Yes, say I'm lying. Please say I'm lying. But y'all gonna be right there cheering because you ain't never seen nothing that damn bizarre. Even De La Hoya versus Shaq had headgear and Shaq ain't a boxer. That right there, fireworks. Because you're going to be holding your breath, especially Tank fans. I'm going to be like, don't hit Tank. You're going to see Tank little ass legs. He's going to come, and big ass Jake, big legs and big ass head. Bam, bam. Watch. Y'all talk all that shit now because y'all love talking shit. Y'all love hating on things until you see it. Like women back in the 90s. I remember my sisters back in the 90s. You ain't that cute. You ain't, but all on your shit. That's what y'all do. Y'all talk shit, but y'all the first ones there.
Former world champion Keith Thurman made an interesting observation about GervontaDavis and his critics. He said the same people who constantly bash Tank are also the ones who never misses fights. They claim he's overrated, yet they always tune in. According to Thurman, that kind of attention, even negative, only fuels Davis's fame. Every time critics talk down performances, they actually keep his name trending and make him even more popular in the boxing world.
If you're really not happy with Tank, first off, don't watch Tank. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? You support it, then what you doing? You can't not support and support at the same time, right? So if you're a boxing purist, then this fight with Roach is really more for you. It's going to be more up your alley, you know? If you just like all entertainment, all fights, all hypes, all everything, then you're going to want to tune in to the Tank and Paul's show there, you know, because that's all for entertainment. What is it? For entertainment purposes only, right? It's just say like somewhere in the small print of the promotion. For entertainment, don't do this at home, kids. You know, so fine.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, disclaimer. For entertainment purposes only, you know. So, it's money-making purposes only, you know. It is what it is, people.
When Clarissa Shields suggested that the only meaningful fight for Tank right now would be against Shakur Stevenson, it clearly struck a nerve. Davis responded sharply, saying, "No one has the right to tell me what to do." His message was direct. Fans should just enjoy the fights and stop trying to manage his career. This reaction comes after the backlash he faced following his draw against Lamont Roach, when many fans online called him overrated. That criticism clearly got to him. Now he's focused on doing things his way, fighting on his own terms, not for anyone's approval.
And it says that, pretty much the only people that can beat him is Shakur Stevenson. And I don't know who else he said. He said she thought that at a point in time that Devin Haney could beat him, but now she doesn't believe that. But so really the only fight that there is for GervontaDavis is Shakur. What a mighty, mighty convenient argument. And GervontaDavis responded, and basically his response was, "Come on, girl, stop talking about me so much because you're making me feel like I'm special." Right? So he pretty much just, kind of blows it off. But I really think that there's something much deeper going on here. And it is that this, and I said it again, I said it in another video, I'll say it in this one, the Bud Buddies. The Bud Buddies are a crew of boxers that all hang around and worship Terence Bud Crawford. And the main two members of it, besides the people that are actually in Terence Crawford's camp, as fighters are Shakur Stevenson and Clarissa Shields, without a doubt. Clarissa Shields is a huge backer of Terence and a huge backer of Shakur Stevenson. At the end of the day, the only thing she really cares about is what's in the best interest of Shakur Stevenson. And anything and everything she say is angled that way to get GervontaDavis to do something that Shakur Stevenson wants him to do, which is really do all the hard work and then be there for Shakur Stevenson to become a star at the end of it. I'm telling you, man, I believe that to the bottom of my soul, that is the same plan that Terence Crawford ran on Errol Spence Jr.
The Jake Paul versus GervontaDavis matchup doesn't fit the usual mold of professional boxing. As many analysts have noted, this fight isn't traditional. It sits somewhere between sport and entertainment. What makes it even more unusual is that both men are still in their primes. Exhibition matches usually involve retired fighters, like Mayweather's recent shows. But here, both Paul and Davis are active, capable, and still building their legacies. That's what makes this event so unusual. It blurs the line between a real competition.
Fights like this with fighters pretty much in their prime. But other than the size mismatch, most people are wondering why has Tank taken this fight, and those were the first questions targeted to Tank in this presser, because usually these sorts of bouts are relegated to the latter part of your career, and for most GervontaDavis supporters, they thought they would get the big fights next, the Shakurs. They didn't think he would be fighting Jake Paul. Although Tank tried to push it off as fans should just be happy watching the sport and hey, haters will be haters, I think that's quite unfair to the people who have been loyal supporters of him and honestly have paid his bills. He tried to compare the level of criticism he gets to the likes of Mayweather, but the difference is with his mentor Floyd, he really did fight a lot of champs in their prime. Has Tank? Well, not really. The most notable fight he's recently had that the people actually wanted was the Ryan Garcia fight, and the only reason he took that fight was because everything was on his terms. And other than the Ryan fight over the last couple years, it's either been people who aren't in his weight division, which he's pulling up, or fighters ranked in the lower half of the top 10 lightweight list. The fights people have truly wanted to see just have never materialized, and simply that's why people criticize him. If the likes of Crawford never fought Spence or Usyk never fought Fury or Joshua, they would have caught the same level of flack. The reason why fighters like them are applauded is because generally they take on whatever challenge is in front of them. Tank instead, his whole career has bobbed and weaved around the most significant challenges that the people actually want to see unless he has everything his way.
Another major concern about this fight is the massive weight difference. Jake Paul walks around near cruiserweight, while Tank Davis typically competes between lightweight and super lightweight. That's roughly a 60 to 70 pound gap. Something boxing system was designed to prevent. Weight classes exist to protect fighters from unfair power mismatches.
Said and done, and when you guys go off, they go into the next man. So if y'all can make a big payday, go get that payday. The sport of boxing don't love you, and that's the problem with this sport. It's like what Jake Paul did, man. It's crazy, but people getting paid off of it.
Yeah.
So if he can call any one of y'all out and y'all can get that payday, I say go get it, baby. I'm not mad at it.
For me, and I'm not mad at this move at all for Tank Davis, but I think when it comes to boxing fans, there's an essence that comes with this sport, and it's an essence that hasn't been lost, unlike other sports. For an example, with football, we come from the hitting days. Yeah. Can't hit nowadays. You know what I mean? So boxing hasn't lost its essence. You know, they're trying to make it safer and all those sorts of things. But there's still this pureness to boxing that really doesn't exist in sports anymore. But it's still there with boxing. I think that's why people have such a problem with this kind of move from Tank Davis.
Is it more the heart? How do you guys feel being boxers?
Man, like once you hear the numbers, I'm like they're talking like I don't know the official one. They're talking about like 100 mil.
Oh damn!
Like, they're talking about these insane numbers. Like I'm gonna be like, don't take that. I'm not gonna tell another man not to take that type of check, especially for something like that. It's not on your official record. It's an exhibition. I'm not gonna lie here and act like I'm not gonna say yes to 100 million or something like that.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned for the next update. There's still much more to unfold in the wild story of Jake Paul versus GervontaDavis.